Hi, hello, and welcome to my first sit-down video in a very long time. A few vlogs ago, I mentioned that I really wanted to do more topic discussion-based videos. I have been vlogging for so long, and I love my vlogs, and I love my what I eat in a days and all that stuff, but I feel like sitting down and talking to you guys about all the things that I've been thinking about, feeling, learning about. There's just something so special about YouTube that way that we can just sit down and it feels like I can have a conversation with my friends. So I wanted to do a little video per you guys' request, actually, discussing health and wellness trends that we've kind of seen over the last couple of years. Hi, hello. So I actually just finished editing the video that you guys are about to watch. And I wanted to make sure that it is clear that this video is just my personal experience and personal opinion on these health and wellness trends. I don't want this to be taken as medical advice in any way, shape, or form. I want you guys to always find a doctor that you trust if you're struggling with something health-wise, and obviously go with their opinion or their advice, because I'm not a medical professional. I have listened to so many podcasts. I feel really passionate about health and wellness, but my opinion is just my opinion and my experience is just my experience. So I hope that that is clear in this video, and I just wanted to say that just in case. And other than that, I hope that you guys enjoy it. As someone who has been in this world, in this health, fitness, bodybuilding, whatever space you want to call it, for years and years, and I feel like I've gone through so many different stages. I mean, I started working out when I was in high school. I started posting on YouTube when I was in high school, which is crazy. Throughout all those years, I feel like I have ran into so many different trends that some have stayed, others have gone. I think those trends actually affected my personal health. Had I known, I guess, how to navigate that better and just be more in tune with my body and actually know what works for me and what doesn't, I feel like I could have avoided a lot of pain. But I guess that's just part of growing up. It comes with you live and you learn. I think what's really unfortunate about the fitness industry right now and the health and wellness space is that there are so many contradicting things on one topic. You can run into something on social media. For example, someone is promoting something or whatever, and then they'll follow up with like, make sure you do your research though. And it's like, what does that mean? Because as someone who I feel like has done a lot of research, what I found is sometimes I'm even more confused. Intermittent fasting is a really great example of this. There are so many well-educated people on either sides of the spectrum, and they are saying two completely different things. There are people who are gonna say intermittent fasting is like the worst thing that you could do for yourself. It's gonna mess up women's hormones. It's gonna do this and this and this. And then there's another part of that of people saying, hey, no, this is actually so good for you, and they have studies to prove it, and the other side has studies too. And I just feel like it's so confusing, especially for people who are so new to this. Like, there's just so much noise and so many contradicting things, and you feel like you want to follow all of it and at the same time follow none of it. If you have run into something that you feel like you have contradicting information on, the best thing to do is to turn inward, especially if it comes to like your body and things that you're putting in your body and the habits that you're following. Like, we are such different individuals. Something that could be so beneficial for me can be very harmful for you. Let's just take bone broth, for example. Bone broth is so popular right now. You hear so much about it on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, all that, all the gut health girlies, myself included. I actually asked my grandparents about it, and I went back and tried to remember how I was eating and the things that my grandparents were feeding me when I was little, and they love the idea of bone broth. We actually have something in Ukraine called holodets, which is bone broth, but it's kind of like gelatin, and they eat that all the time. It's considered one of the most like nutritious things that you can eat. That to me was like a big green light of, hey, this is a good thing, because I do feel that our grandparents and even their grandparents, like, they had a really good relationship with food, just growing their own food and movement and nature and all these different things. Like, I feel like we are unfortunately moving away from having this connection with nature. My grandparents literally grew their own food. I don't remember them ever going to the store. If they needed milk, trade with their neighbors who had cows. That for me is kind of my grounding of, if I feel confused, then I try to go back and see how they were eating. And if you don't have someone that you can ask for in your life, you can always look it up online. And if you know your heritage, if you know like where your ancestors came from, just see like what foods your cultural background is rooted in. But I do think that bone broth is a really great trend. Unfortunately, the negative of that is that it's really expensive, but you can make your own. I just recently tried to make my own, and I will be attempting that one more time. But you can definitely find some really great recipes online, and I feel like it just kind of connects you to yeah, making your own food. Like, it's so fun. Food is so fun for me, especially having it first thing in the morning, before coffee, before matcha, before any of your stuff. Like, it can coat your stomach, which is really great. So if you have leaky gut, that is something that can be really beneficial for you. It also has protein in it. It has collagen in it. It's good for your hair, your nails, your skin. I feel like I've seen a lot of improvements since I've been consistent with it in those areas. So personally, that's something that I've really benefited from. And you know, again, with like any other trends that I'm going to talk about, you can try it, and if it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't feel good in your body, if you're like, no, I hate this, then it's just not a good thing for you, and that's okay. If you are vegan, you're like, I will absolutely not be putting any kind of bones in my body, that is totally fine, because if you force yourself to do that and you've already decided like this is not for you, your body is going to have a reaction to it. Even if it's just like a mental feeling that you don't like, your body will recognize that. So actually, if you are vegan, you can do miso soup instead of bone broth. It also has a lot of really great benefits. But yeah, like, don't force yourself to ever do anything that doesn't feel like it aligns with you and what you support and what you believe in. The next trend I want to talk about is probiotics. Those are so huge right now. You guys already know how I feel about probiotics. I feel that actually, in this department, for the most part, the research agrees that probiotics are a positive addition to your everyday life. I am actually partnering with Seed on today's video, and I have worked with them in the past before. They are absolutely amazing. Feel very strongly about probiotics, and I feel like I have seen just such improvements in my overall health since starting taking probiotics when I first decided to come off of birth control. What makes Seed different from a regular probiotic is that their DS-01 Daily Symbiotic was formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains to improve systemic health. It was also formulated to have whole body benefits beyond the gut. So your skin, your hair, your nails are all going to benefit from taking their Daily Symbiotic. I take 2 pills in the morning just to be consistent with it. I will wake up, have my lemon water, and then I take my Symbiotic. And the best part about the DS-01 Daily Symbiotic is that it actually arrives in your colon, which a lot of probiotics just don't have the innovations to do. It has a 2-in-1 via cap, and what that means is that there's a capsule on the outside that actually protects it from your stomach bile, all the acids that are in your stomach, and delivers an average of 100% of the starting dose of the probiotic to your colon, which is literally unheard of. It's amazing. In terms of the best on the market, in my personal opinion, this is it. I also love the fact that they have a refill system. It comes in this little package, so you keep the jar, and then when this shows up, you just refill it. I think it's just a really great way to be a little bit more eco-friendly, which is great. If you're someone who struggles with daily bowel movements, which we have all been there, I've been there, this definitely helps promote regularity. So big fan of that. If you're interested in getting yourself the DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, then you guys can actually use my code Mariana. It will give you 30% off. You guys can use that code through the first link in my bio. Like I said, personally, I feel like the data is there on probiotics. They are important. They can be helpful in so many different ways. If it doesn't align with you, that's also fine, you guys. I always encourage you to make a decision that feels right for you in your gut. Next trend I want to talk about is intermittent fasting. There are professionals on each side that have different data, very great data that supports their claims, and I think it's really hard for people to kind of decide how they feel about it. Is it an overall good thing? Is it an overall bad thing? And to be fully honest with you guys, I think this is one of those case-by-case basis. Like, it can be so great for one person and it can be pretty awful for the next. From what I understand and what I've learned, it seems that intermittent fasting can be more beneficial for men rather than women, and I feel like that kind of makes sense if you especially look back. Also, because of all of our hormonal changes, I do feel like, again, I understand that it can benefit men more than women. Now, a lot of you guys probably know that I actually found intermittent fasting to be pretty beneficial to me. That doesn't go along with what I just said, but I also have a personal opinion on this, and I think that intermittent fasting is great for someone who it comes naturally to. For example, I have my entire life been someone who wakes up and I am just not hungry. Like, I don't crave breakfast. I don't really feel like I need to eat something immediately, whereas I have friends who wake up and they're like, first thing I have to do is go to the kitchen and eat something. I just listen to my hunger cues, and I found that listening to them, if I get hungry around 12 and honoring that hunger at 12 versus forcing myself to have a meal at 9 because I feel like I need to, that's just been better for me. And I found that it actually helps my blood sugar regulation. It helps me snack less, which I don't like snacking. It doesn't feel good to my gut and my energy and all that. Like, I like having my kind of 2 to 3 big meals a day. That's just what works for me. That does not mean that it works for my friend. This one was hard for me. I felt very kind of pulled in different directions of trying to figure out what to believe in. Like, should I be doing it? Should I not be doing it? But again, I think it just goes back to how does your body feel? I feel the most energized this way. I feel the most full this way. I feel like it helps me have a good relationship with food and with my body, and I don't ever restrict myself with intermittent fasting. I don't use it to diet. I don't use it as a means to lose weight or to do anything other than that's just how my body naturally likes to eat. So I honor that. I think if you're someone who is on the opposite side of that spectrum, if you're like, oh, well, I wake up ravenous in the morning, and you try to do intermittent fasting, it could do more harm than good. Again, that's just my personal opinion. I am not a doctor by any means, but I have listened to a lot of contradicting podcasts on intermittent fasting, and especially intermittent fasting for women and all that. And I do think that it has benefits. I do think that in terms of longevity, fasting is actually a good thing, and every once in a while I do think that everyone should fast, but no one knows your body as well as you do, and I think women have to be more careful with it than men, and if it doesn't come naturally to you, then in the trash it goes. All right, next, lemon water in the morning. Oh my god, I feel like this is also pretty controversial. Like, you have so many people saying this is so stupid, like this doesn't do anything, blah blah, and other people who are saying, no, this is great, this can like detox your liver and it can help get things moving in the morning and all that. You're gonna be like, of course, this is what you're gonna say. How does it feel for you? Do you feel like you enjoy having lemon water in the morning? Because I personally do. I love having some warm lemon water in the morning with my little probiotic and my other supplements, and just like something about that feels better than just having plain cold water. Therefore I have it. Do I think that it's like doing magic for my health? I don't know, but I know that I like it. I know that I look forward to it. I know that warm feels better as it goes down my gut than cold. So that's what I do. Again, this is one of those trends that I feel like has been it's just an aesthetically pleasing thing to look at. Like, a lot of people on TikTok will make their little lemon water and you're like, oh, that looks so nice and it feels so healthy and whatever. It's a little extra vitamin C. It can definitely like get your juices going in the morning maybe. I feel that it's not that serious. Like, I don't think you need to have it, but if you enjoy it, if it makes you drink more water, then why not, right? Why not? And the last one that I want to talk about was aloe vera. So this is not a trend that I personally follow. I tried it for a little while and then I kind of fell off, but I have done a lot of research on aloe vera. I've listened to a few podcasts on it and the benefits that it has for your skin, your gut, all that. But the reason I was actually researching about it was because my mom struggles from acid reflux a lot. Although it is a trend, I have found it to be, or my mom has found it to be really helpful. I suggested that she take it a while back and she has reported back to say that she feels better. I don't personally take it because I don't struggle with acid reflux like at all. That's like one of the symptoms that I, maybe back in the day when I had really bad digestive issues, I was struggling with, but I don't anymore, and therefore I don't feel the need to take it. But my mom definitely does, and I do feel like it's a trend and it's kind of come and gone. People were talking about it a lot and now no one's talking about it, but I think it has its benefits. One thing that I remember growing up as a child, my grandma would have aloe vera plants kind of everywhere, and anytime that I had a cut on my hand or if I just wasn't feeling good, she would like juice it and either put it on my wound or have me drink it, and that stuck with me as a kid. Going back to our roots and going back to our intuition is going to be your best starting point when it comes to looking at any trends, and maybe certain things that I didn't cover here. I have found that to be the case with my PCOS. Like, what the doctors were telling me, the gynecologists were telling me, I didn't listen to that because that did not align with me, and I'm to this day so grateful that I didn't, that I took the naturopathic approach, that I didn't go on birth control, that I chose to manage my PCOS through lifestyle changes and Chinese medicine and all of that. Like, that got my period back. I don't think that I would have had the same outcome. So just listening to my body was the best thing that I could do, and that is something that I will always encourage you guys to do. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. That was a long one. If you'd like a part 2, comment below. If there are other things you want to discuss, then also comment below. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.